Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This is Donnie, and you're watching Diamond Painting by Donnie. Today is part 2 of the Diamond Dotz Freestyle how-to series that I just started. If you want to see the part 1 that I did, you can watch it in the eye. Click on the eye and it will link you to my first video. So today I am going to be using, showing you how to take one of the patterns that they have in their book and convert it into a diamond painting. So we're going to be using two different products. We'll be using more than that, but we are going to be using the DOTZ Fabric white. It has no adhesive, and it's 12-inch by 19-inch. They do have the smaller fabric pieces that I showed in the first video, and they actually have ones that are a bit bigger than this as well. So I do believe those are the 3 sizes they have. And we are also going to be using the Sandwich Adhesive. It's a double-faced adhesive, and there are a couple different ways that you can use this stuff, and today is just one of the ways, and I will show you another way to use it in another video. But for now, we are going to be transferring this onto here and using this as well to get our adhesive, because the way they show you how to do it is that you're basically putting this on a light pad and taping it down, and then putting your canvas, your blank canvas, over it. And I've already had somebody send me a message, an email, telling me how they tried this, and it is just extremely hard to see the symbols through the canvas. And I can understand that, because in the first video I was able to use a light board to see the pattern of the little fox that I did here. But that was drawn in Sharpie. It was big and bold, and there weren't tiny little symbols that you needed to be able to read. So this is the solution that I've come up with. I've kind of used my knowledge from when I worked doing my Heaven and Earth design, transferring the actual pattern onto the blank canvas. And we are going to use that for this, and it's going to make it a little bit easier because we already have the double-sided adhesive. I have the pattern the right size, and it's just one page. So first of all, you need to scan your photo and out of the book, and then it's going to look like this when you scan it. Well, actually, it looks a little bigger. I don't know if I have a third piece of paper. It took me a little bit to do the printing out. I scanned, and then I used my program called FastStone, and I will actually link that program, the link where you can get that program for free, down in the description box. And what it does is you can resize your photos. It's an image viewer, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But when I did it, I printed this out thinking that there were, I didn't count, but I was thinking that there were only 9 dots in each square. But those are actually 10, because these lines, it's standard. They put lines at every 10 mark. I wasn't thinking that, but I'm glad that I counted before I actually started applying this. But because what their instructions say is, in order to do this the right size, you need to resize it so that there are 9 dots per inch. And so after I printed this out, I got it figured out what I did wrong, and I went and I counted how many dots are actually on here, and then I cropped it as close to the border as I could, to the edge of the drill field, so that I could get as much as I could onto the paper, because we know that it's gonna probably be bigger than a standard piece of paper, but it turns out it's exactly the right size. Just one little tip. I'm going to show you the clip now on how to do this on FastStone, but or I think that's what it's called. It's called, yeah, Fast Stone Image Viewer. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I was telling you the right name. When you do it, okay, where'd my, here it is. Okay, when you do that on there, I forgot to let you know that when you are printing from Fast Stone, make sure you take all your margins down to 0. We don't want any margins on the paper whatsoever, because that's area we could use for the pattern to be able to transfer it onto the diamond painting. So I will play that clip for you now. I have Fast Stone Image Viewer opened up here, and what you need to do is scan the image out of the book that you want to do. So I've scanned this picture here, and once you scan it, you have to find it by going to the file folder that you're looking for where your image is, which I have mine here. So this is the one that I scanned for this, and it will pop up on your screen like this. So next thing we need to do is we need to crop this to be able to get it the right size. I did have to do a little bit of math, and the book says that in order to get it the right size, you need to blow it up or shrink it down, whatever is necessary to get 9 dots per inch. So if you can see on this screen here, there is a line right where my little cursor is, and then there's another line here. Those, between those two lines, there's 10 dots. And at first I was thinking that's, you know, what I needed was 1 inch between those two, but no, it needs to be, that would be 10 dots per inch. And we need to blow this up so that it is 9 dots per inch. So first of all, you need to trim all of this off, and you need as much room as possible. So we're going to trim it so that it goes just outside the line, the area of where the symbols are placed. So you move your cursor over to the left side of the screen, and it pops up this menu. You're going to click on Crop Board, and then you're going to put your cursor in the top left hand corner and drag it all the way down to the bottom right hand corner, just staying outside the lines of your symbols. So there I have it cropped, and now you go down to the bottom and I click on crop. So now we have a cropped image. Since you can see that I cropped a little too much off, it would probably be good to go back and redo. So I think you can just click on the undo button. No, that's the rotate button. Where is the undo button? Would it be right here, down here at the bottom? Click undo, and then we're going to crop again until you get it the right way, which I cropped it, and this is my image cropped, and you can click on it to zoom in and you can see the symbols zoomed in. So now we have it exactly how we want it printed, but now we have to print it the right size. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go back over here to the left, and you're going to click on Resize Resample right here. So in order to print it out the way we want it, I had to do a little bit of math, and I counted how many dots there were going up and how many dots were going down, and I came up with, there are 75 going up and down. Well, the long side has 97 and the short side has 75. So we want to divide each number by 9, which is 9 per inch, and that way we have how many inches we want. So if we take 97 and divide that by 9, we get 10.78. So we're going to go over here to the print size, and we are going to put, well, the numbers are in here already because I did this last night, but you got the height of 10.78 over here, and then 75, which is the width, divided by 9 is 8.33 inches. So now we have it the right size. And you can change it to inches or centimeters or millimeters. And once that's done, you click on OK. And then you can go up to the top. You can print it, which I've already got it printed out. You also might want to save it as into a separate file like I did here. I do have the original, and then I have the resized one, and that's basically it. I know it's quite tedious when it comes to just trying to do a diamond painting, but you know, freestyle isn't exactly easy style, it's freestyle. So I'm going to show you next what to do at this point. I did forget to mention that this could be something that gets quite messed up. I'm going to show you what happens when you go to print. Alright, so you go back over to the left, and you go up to the print button right here. But you, like I said, you're going to want to save it as. So you have a cropped image, and then you have your original image. That way, if you have any mistakes and you need to go back, you have the original. So make sure you save as, and then save this as a different copy with it cropped. Then you're going to go to the print button, print, and then print. And then this will pop up here. Now, you can see how this is why mine cropped off, because the image was just not big enough. I mean, the paper is not big enough for the image, just by barely. But you can see here, I did take out the margins. All of these should say 0.00, so that we have as much paper as possible to put your image on. I have it set in portrait because if I do it in landscape, it's going to do that. And you don't want it to cut off your image, obviously. So we want this in portrait. I have it set to a line at the very right hand side. So because that was another image I had where I had it in the center and it cut off parts. So I don't know if it will matter on something where it takes up the whole space, but just fool around with it till it looks right to you in the preview screen. But here is the important part right here. Make sure you have original size checked, and a lot of the time it will have this button checked, shrink if larger than page size. You do not want that checked because it will not make your size the way you need it to be in order to place your drills to fit. So make sure that's unchecked. Make sure stretch to page and fit to page are not checked. Only thing you want is original size, and that's it. So you click print after that, and you get what you saw for the image that it came out to be in the other part of this video. So now I think I've given you all the information you need, and let's get to the next step. So the result that I got after I resized it is this right here. So this is actually the size it needs to be. I take my little ruler here and I'm measuring from line to line, and 1 inch actually hits. You want to make sure that the 1 inch line hits between the 9th and the 10th spot within the two lines on the grid. And this actually is perfect. So I know that this is the right size. So now that we have our pattern ready to go. Another thing you might want to do is I printed out the other side that has the key. And because I don't have all these colors from Diamond Dotz, I haven't gone to buy them individually because I can't really go into town every single day, but I might do that the next time I'm, get a chance to. Tomorrow, yes, because I'm going into town tomorrow. What I did was, for some people who have a lot of leftovers, you may just have enough of your leftovers to do one of these images with your leftovers. And I have a chart that's linked down below as well that gives you the DMC number that is associated with the Diamond Dot number. So I just went and I wrote down all the numbers that are DMC numbers to these. And because it does require some 310, I do have a bunch of leftover 310s from various different projects. So I'm going to go ahead and at least see about starting it with the 310s. But if you have these, you can skip this step if you were prepared, unlike me, and you wrote down all the numbers you needed to pick up at the store. They come in vials like this. They're $1.50 each, $1.49 right now. They are on sale, 40% off. So now would be a good time to actually go and do that. I wasn't prepared, and like I said, I actually went and bought a bunch of stuff the day before they went on sale. So I spent a little bit more than I should have. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we are going to get this set up and transferred onto the paper, onto the fabric, so we can actually make this into a diamond painting. So the first thing we're going to open is our fabric. And I believe all of this stuff is on sale. Not only the diamond paintings, I think everything associated with it. I could be wrong, but that is the hopes, because I do need to go back tomorrow to buy more. Because I want to get the actual colors to do these diamond paintings. Because I don't have my leftovers organized, and I don't know what I have as far as leftovers. And I don't really want to have to search through everything just to scrounge up enough to do this when I can just go and buy them for a really good price right now. And $1.50 is not bad at all for a container of drills this size. That is actually a really good price. Okay, so this is actually pretty big. And I'm trying to think, when you do a Diamond Dotz diamond painting, which side? I think this is the side that it's adhered on. It doesn't actually say on here, on the instructions. Let me look. It says it's designed specifically for diamond dotting. For best results, use the dot stick adhesive. Oh, smooth side. So the smooth side is the side that you're supposed to diamond paint on. But this is going to kind of defeat the whole purpose of using their canvas. You could do this on canvas. You could do it on actually anything, because we are just putting a layer. In fact, I could get a good 2 diamond paintings out of this, because this only takes up 1. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure I want to cut it, but I don't want to cut crooked or something. Let me go ahead and just cut it out, because we want a little bit of a border. All right, so I can save this. I don't even know where to put it. Okay. Right, so here we are. We've got our canvas, and now we've got this diamond painting ready to go. Well, the image. a lot of people may cringe at the thought of doing what I'm going to do, but this is what we're going to do to make it work for those that really cannot see these symbols through the canvas. I'll show you what it looks like if you try that. All right. I got stuff all over. I got Liquitex. Oh my gosh, it's on my light. I use too much when sealing something, and yeah, it's on my light pad. Let me plug in. Okay, so I've got it turned on, and that's the brightest it will go. And yeah, I can understand how this is not something that's really workable. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see how unrealistic that is to see symbols through there. That's, turn the light back on. That's really not possible. And I mean, you could, but it's really hard. It's really hard to see. I mean, compare that to this. So with it being on top, it's a lot more legible. You can see it way better. So what we want to do is make it so that this is what you see. And that does enlighten the symbols. So it does work with it being on the canvas like this. Okay. So I just had to double check that. Now I've got this glue that I'm going to use. It's all-purpose glue, Craft Bond, and I'm using it because I don't know what I should use. I don't know if I mean, I could use aqua glue, but I'm not sure that's going to do the trick and hold, because I've never actually used aqua glue to actually glue things together, and I've never glued anything to canvas itself. So I'm trusting that this will work for what we are trying to do. And what should I do? I think what I'll do is I will put this on here and I will spread it out onto the surface and then place the image onto it. That way we make sure it's even, because, you know, you kind of want to have an even, you don't want to have it in just strips and then, yeah, let me go back out. We don't want to have it in just these strips so that you're kind of bubbled. I mean, with any diamond painting, you want it to be as smooth as possible. I'm going to take my paintbrush here and just kind of brush it on. I don't imagine you need to have glue over 100% of it, as long as the edges are going to be probably your biggest concern, but you don't want to go all the way out to the edge, because we are going to be putting the double-sided adhesive on here, and once we do that, it should pin it down. So we just kind of want to get it into the center of it, just to keep the paper down. And it feels like it's drying, so I need to get this on here. And it doesn't matter if you get it crooked. It doesn't have to be perfect, because, you know, that can all be taken care of once you trim it for framing. Start from the middle and push outward. Okay, so that's pretty darn flat. So I'm not even going to bother waiting for it to dry. I don't think I need to, because it's pretty sticky. But now we have our pattern on our canvas. Okay, let me close this up. Now we're going to open up our sandwich adhesive, which is basically double-sided adhesive but it's specific for diamond painting because I already have some diamond painting or some double-sided adhesive, but it's not meant for this craft and it's not very sticky. I actually tried it. I bought it when I was trying to put my pattern onto my Heaven and Earth design canvas, and I could stick drills to it. It just wasn't very strong. They didn't stay as well as the stuff I did find that would work. Okay, so this does have a cover. This comes with a cover, and there's plenty in here. What we need is enough to cover this piece of paper. So let me put my board down here. And I love using an X-Acto knife. Best thing, you could probably tape it down to make it fit. Make sure you're getting it the right spot, but I'm going to just freehand it, I think. No, I'm not, because this is not, it's not staying down because it's really stiff. But you can see this is double-sided adhesive, and there's a bubble in the cover right there. So it's a good thing it's not stuck to anything, because that's just one side. That's the back side. And it depends on how you lay it on top of here. That matters. You don't want to get bubbles in it. So let me take... I just had some tape. Okay, I have these pieces of washi tape I can use. All right. So let me just tape this down to my table right here. That's the canvas. And then I want to tape this end after it's lined up on top of that. It's just a temporary. Okay, so we can see where our edge is right here. Yeah, that's not very very strong. I just need it for a minute. Okay, so I'm lined up. And you can even actually write, you can just take, that's what I'll do, because that's going to be easier. I take my ruler right here and hold it down. I'm going to take my, well, I could just take the X-Acto knife from here and slice it. Phew, just in time. I kind of didn't cut deep enough on this first part of the cut. All right, I'll just take scissors to get the rest. I have my line, so let's cut it gently like that. Okay, so I have all this extra adhesive here. Nice. All right, put this ruler back. I can leave that taped on like that. Kind of keep it sturdy while I'm applying this adhesive, because we don't want bubbles. That's one thing we do not want. We know we don't want bubbles. I'm going to tape it down here. Oops, didn't want to do that. Don't want it going over the print. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to place this double-sided adhesive over this. What you do is you take off, I just hope it's not going to stay curled. I wonder if I can do like we do for diamond paintings and release the cover. Because this is, I'm really having to fight with this. It's really curled. Because this is the cover piece right here. And the white is the part that's going to stick down. And I just don't want to mess it up. Okay, there's the cover piece. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's already starting to... Okay, I don't want to do that. But I think that would help make it straight. And I don't want to roll it the other direction because we're going to treat this just like a diamond painting. And we don't want to make bubbles. And that will do that if you roll it the opposite direction. So we're going to go ahead and try taking off this white backing. Carefully. Okay, make sure the sticky's on that side. It is. So carefully remove. I'm getting fingerprints underneath, which it's not going to really matter in the long run because we're going to diamond paint over that. So there we go. That part is off. And now we need to carefully place this over our diamond painting. Okay. So I lined it up so that it was exactly the size we needed. So let's try to get it on here perfectly straight. It's kind of a challenge. And I'm going to take my bone folder, yeah. And I'm just kind of pushing it on to avoid getting bubbles. Well, darn it. That shouldn't have happened. And it did happen. So I'm going to just continue to try to do the process. It's not perfect because now I'm going to have a bubble right there in the middle. See, I got a bubble right in the middle. And that is down on the adhesive side. So I can fix it just like any other diamond painting that you get a bubble on. And I'll probably have to cut it with my this. But let's cut off this excess adhesive. I'm going to have to do it with, oh yeah, it's sticking to my scissors. That's not good. So we'll use the X-Acto to cut the excess off, because that is really sticky. I don't think I cut all the way through. Yep, there, I'm finally through. I don't know. It's a really thin line that needs to be cut off. So this is reality, though. This is what's going to happen when you apply this adhesive one way or another, whether you have a picture underneath or not. You would probably not have, you probably would have been able to lift it back up, unlike what I did. I couldn't lift it back up because it was stuck to paper. If you were just doing it freestyle, without the pattern underneath. Okay, hopefully it brings it off. Okay. Yeah, the adhesive is now, the excess of adhesive is gone. It's stuck on here. I'll deal with that later. But we now have our image. We have a diamond painting. So let's peel back the cover. Pretty thick, the covering on this. All right, so this is where I was telling you how it was bubbling up. So I should probably make sure that's down really well, because we don't want that to happen. But there we go. Get this side down a little more. There. So I'm not going to take it off all the way, obviously, but, you know, there's my bubble right there in the middle, and this is extremely sticky. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife to pop the bubble, and then use this to lay it down. And I know this method works because I just had to do this on the last diamond painting I did. It had bubbles, and it really works well. See, now the bubbles are flat. Okay, so here is the diamond painting all ready to go. And this, don't be mistaken, because it's a clear cover does not mean it's poured glue. Because we know this is not poured glue, it's a double-sided adhesive, and you treat it as if it is a double-sided adhesive canvas that you received from China, where it follows the same rules, where you don't want to roll it the opposite direction that it was in. I mean, I wouldn't roll it at all, because once you start rolling it, you're opening up the avenue of getting bubbles as well. Let's see, what was the other thing that you can't do? With poured glue, you're able to actually kind of roll it and fold it and stuff like that. And with this stuff, you can't, because it bubbles. That's all I can say. Poured glue, you don't have the same problems you have with this. So you want to keep it flat, keep it clean, and keep it covered when you're not doing it. So it's a little bit raised from the surface, which is no big deal because of the fact that we glued the picture onto the canvas. But we do still have the nice canvas that we're working with, and it's nice and strong. We just have an extra layer of glue underneath and a picture. Instead of it printed directly on to the canvas, we put our picture onto the canvas. All right, so let me get my light pad set up, and I will get my black drills out and my key, and I will start diamond painting. Be right back. All right, I have this set up on my little stand here, and what I wanted to show you is it looks just like a diamond painting. You can see the symbols nice and bright on the light pad with the way we did it. And so I'm going to, oh, I forgot to pull out my key, which is right here. So my 310s are number 8001, which is the circle with the black dot in the middle. And that's the only color I have right now. So I'm going to pull back my cover down here at the bottom. And I'm going to use my cover minder to hold it back so that I am not fighting with it. There we go. So my dragon will watch over. And I'm going to zoom you in so you can see how clear those symbols are. Check that out. I mean, I am impressed. I mean, I don't have the best printer in the world either. I just have a HP all-in-one, just a regular inkjet printer, and I was able to make a diamond painting. And I'm actually super impressed. So here we go with I need to clip this bottom piece down. The one thing I think I could have done differently was allowed more of a border for the canvas. I would have liked to have a little bit more, because as you can see at the bottom, there's very little. I actually put the adhesive almost all the way up to the edge. So, you know, you can cut down your adhesive before you lay it down as well. I would normally put washi tape on here, but because the adhesive is so darn close to the edge, it's a little hard. Plus, I'm looking now and I can see that I did cut off part of the symbols when I was cropping it. So I have to make sure to pay attention to that and know that just because it's not there doesn't mean that I don't put a drill there, because that is a drill level. That's a row for drills. And another thing is that I like about doing it this way is we have color in the background, so it will fill in the colors for the gaps, because that was one thing that I was mentioning in my last video. I wasn't too thrilled about this whole method because of the fact that you're not going to have the background to be filled in like you do on normal round paintings. This will allow that. So let's pour out some of my round black drills from various companies and see what we can do here. I'm going to try out multi-placers, single placers, patty wax, and my Faber-Castell tacket. So we're going to start with whatever is in this pen. This is super sticky patty wax. And I'm going to start over here on the corner. Let's do that. So this first row, of course, is not going to have much of a background color to it, but that's okay. I'm not perfect, but it is pretty darn close. And the thing is I've got these clips on here, so it's making it uneven. Here, I'm going to actually clip this whole thing there. That should work. Okay. Adhesive not wanting to pick up. I know the adhesive's sticky, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have too much super sticky in my pen. It just seemed to be that one that wasn't wanting to come off. And see, I like to be able to hold on to the edge so I can move them around, and it's all sticky because I was overzealous in putting the adhesive on. I'm twisting it because I'm trying to get it in position because I'm not getting it right where I want it the first time. And when you have symbols like this that are round and bright like that, you want to be able to cover them up because you don't want the ring to show through. It's not really the ring, it's the it's the part of the symbol of this. But look at that, they all fit. They fit perfect. So that just tells me I got the size right when I printed it out. So in this end, this is my 3-placer. I have my Faber-Castell tacket. I hardly ever have to replace this stuff. So let's go 3-placer. It looks like it's about time now that I've mentioned it. Get my 3-placer going. I picked this image because I liked the purples. Plus, I also like all the color blocking that is here. If you didn't know, I love color blocking. And this is why. Because you can get your images done super quickly with multi-placing. So there I just placed 9. No. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's right. This column, this box only had 9, but the rest have 10. And then at the end here, I think there was 8. Yeah. So you got to make sure to count them exactly in order when you're using the fast stone, because you want to make sure to get it right. So what you just got to make sure you do, you take the total number that is in one direction, divide it by 9, because we want 9 drills per inch, and that way we know how many inches to print it out. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'm now super excited to go get my drills to I'm going to actually look, because I know I ordered some packages of drills from Amazon, and I'm going to see if I have any of those colors in there, and if I do, I will actually be able to do a little bit more of this, and I will update you in probably the next part where we're going to actually try and use this sandwich adhesive for doing something more of a freestyle than for a patterned out image. So let me just try the multi-placing real quick here. This is patty wax in here. I'm not sure if it's warmed up or not, if it's going to be able to pick up enough. I will just give it a shot. My patty wax, a multi-placer. Yes, it had. This is my 15 placer. If you're curious, you can get these in my Etsy shop. So I'm going to start here and go this way. And there we go. See, with any multi-placer, it doesn't matter which size, how big it is, what canvas it is, I always have to move along a little bit when I'm placing down this many drills. So, but that was just as perfect as anything could be. I mean, for placing 15 at once. And it's going to bug me that these are down here off the edge because of me cutting it off soon. I just have to remember it's okay. So patty wax, that's regular patty wax that was in this. And if you're curious what patty wax is, I will leave her Etsy shop linked down below. And then I will use a multi-placer with the Faber-Castell. This is a 12 placer. I have them marked with the X, the black, so I know that that's what's in it. And I will place 12 drills with this. And yeah, it's needing more put into. Okay, so we got 12. And I will place that here. And there it is. So like I said, I still have to adjust it a little bit because not every canvas is spaced out exactly the same. But that's why it was good that they explain in the book that there are 12 drills per inch. I mean, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to mess you up. It's 9 drills per inch. And that's important to remember if you're wanting to actually get the pattern from the books onto your canvas. And yeah, I'm curious to see how this turns out when it's all done. Use the cover from this adhesive as if it's your covering, unless you want to put your squares on there that I have in my shop. I've shown as well. If you want to put these in, I do sell these in packs of 10. Or you could use your parchment paper, whatever your favorite device is to use. Use your leftover from another diamond painting, whatever it is that you like, use that if you don't like this covering. But this is actually pretty good quality. It is nice and thick, and I probably won't have a problem using it whatsoever. I'll probably just keep it, but this does bug me. I will probably have to put washi tape on it around the edges because that would make it a lot easier to put my clips on too. So, I do believe that's it for this video, guys. Leave me any questions you have down below. I know I tried my best to explain everything to the best I could. If I didn't get something explained quite right, you can just let me know or ask down below. Send me an email, diamondpaintingbydonnie@gmail.com. I will be happy to help you if I can. And just remember, on the 14th, I will be on vacation. I will not be answering emails shop related anything between the 14th and when we get back on the 28th. Those days are off limits because, yeah, I think I deserve 2 weeks every 2 years. So that's what I will be doing, is going on vacation with my family. So if you have any questions or anything and you leave them and I'm not getting back to you, that's because I'm on vacation. But otherwise, I would be happy to try and help, and let me know what you think. I just kind of came up with this because I know I wasn't happy with having to do the counted diamond painting like I did with my Heaven and Earth design, and with getting the email from one of my viewers saying that she is having this issue. I don't blame her, and I really hope this helps you out. And yeah, just let me know, guys. I'd really appreciate that. Give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful, or a thumbs down if you didn't find it helpful. Either way, I thumbs up or down, whatever. I will see you guys in my next video. I still have at least 2, maybe 3 parts left to this series, so keep watching. Have fun diamond painting. Yeah, and don't forget to always sparkle wherever you go and whatever you do. Take care, everyone. Bye. Oh, let's focus, not focus. Okay, let's focus.